What is going on, everybody? Lukey Boy here. Today we're going to be going in a little bit more to the Critterz NFT game because there has been some changes. They have changed the emphasis on the game and in terms of blocks. So this is a long announcement, but ultimately they're saying they don't want people to be just generating blocks to then sell and use that as an income. Yes, it's great, but ultimately that's not going to drive adoption, and it's just going to cause the block price to potentially fall over time because people aren't holding on to the blocks to actually use and integrate with the platform, with the world, with the metaverse, right? And so what they're doing now is they're basically changing the plot whitelist to have more emphasis on the plots rather than playing the game to earn the blocks to sell, right? So if you just look down here, the plots will be a metaverse offering that allows users and communities to build custom play to earn experiences. Basically, we are prioritizing you to be able to create experiences that charge and pay out blocks, such as PvP areas, roller coasters, theme parks, anything you can think of, any themed based land, world within a world, because it's one big map, so you can obviously create like a mini world within a world, right? And it's just really exciting and change. It's interesting change because you need that because you want to drive people to use the platform, to use the game, to play the game, to integrate, to play around with friends, whatever. You need to have that emphasis rather than the emphasis being people playing the game because they enjoy it, but they're also earning from it. They can then sell and make some income, right? So you just have to bear in mind what they are doing here. They're doing it for the long-term success of the project over the short term. So it's very, very interesting. And if you want to take a comparison to, say, NFT Worlds, Bored Ape Yacht Club and various other projects have land in the metaverse where they've built like a custom build, and people that own Bored Apes can go into that world, that specific world, and they can go and hang out with other Bored Apes and chat, and there's other plots that can charge for you to enter based on whatever it is. It could be various projects, themes, whatever it ends up being, right? Now if we jump over to the actual map, let's just enter the app and go to the map. You can see that people are already creating themed based worlds within this huge world. So you can see this huge world, right? And these are version 2 lands that are just rendering in over time. So these will be like a version 2 land that will be released at some point. But you can see here, just for me, I'm starting to build like a ancient Egyptian pyramid style. It's not rendering very well, but you can kind of get a feel for it. Just take off this info. I haven't finished this. This needs to be more like ice and stuff rather than just a blanket of sand. But I own all these green squares, basically, these plots. And I can go ahead and expand my theme of ancient Egyptians and ancient Egypt across all of these, right? You can go ahead and look at all of these kind of like really unique looking builds here. Obviously, you can't really see what it is right now from this top-down view, but you can see people are building really cool things. And if there's a use case for it, if that's say anyone that owns a certain NFT can get in for free into this world. Otherwise, you've got to pay X amount of blocks. There's a real kind of like community vibe potentially that can grow in these virtual metaverses. Because ultimately, Discord's great for talking and chatting, but what if you could then add another layer onto that where you could go into the metaverse and actually chat to your friends, to your community base in a game? I mean, it's just such a cool concept. You can see there's so much getting built here, various pictures. You can see there's lots of Bored Apes down here at the south. If we go down here, there it is. People building, various, I don't even know what this is, a runway maybe, or some roads. And the change in importance into the plots is very important because it's just going to drive more adoption and it's going to help integrate more projects external to Critterz into this world because they're going to want to own plots for one if they have a project, so that project can go ahead and buy plots to then create something for their community. And Critterz are already onboarding or adding many different projects into this metaverse so that you can use your avatar for XYZ NFT and actually come into the game and interact and play. Yeah, so they're doing a lot of onboarding with other projects. This is not just a place for Critterz that people that own Critterz can play. It's a place for everyone. It's a community within a community almost, where you've got little communities all within. These are really cool. If you actually imagine, someone's got to build these with blocks. You don't just like import a picture and you're good. No, you've actually got to go ahead and create this with blocks, with little, Minecraft blocks. And you can see these. So many cool things that are really interesting. Imagine like in here, these could, even though it looks flat, these could be buildings, right? These could be buildings. You just don't know. And you could actually go onto this land if you own Bored Apes, for example, and then you could go ahead and actually chat with your mates, the other Bored Ape members, community members. Other people wouldn't be able to enter unless they paid, or maybe it'll be completely blocked off. So it's an exclusive community within the Critterz community. And it's just trying to build up an importance for actually interacting and playing the game in this metaverse, rather than playing the game to earn blocks to then potentially sell onto the market, because really you want the blocks to have a good use case value attributed to them for playing and interacting and holding blocks, right? Rather than you just own and earn blocks to then sell onto the market. So for me, this has never been a project that's going to be a quick flip. This is a long-term project, okay? Because, again, play to earn and metaverse games are still early, and there's still many, many years of adoption that needs to happen first. But what I'm seeing is that I want to be in early. Okay, it's not like I'm only invested in one thing and that's it. Everything's in Critterz plots or whatever. No, obviously you diversify, but when you see the potential there for where something could go, that is why I love this project. And with this change, it's just going to mean that they are shifting their focus from potentially short term and just Critterz holders, meaning they're going to shift the focus from people trying to get people to just to play to earn to then sell, and it doesn't grow the actual community and the ecosystem of Critterz. And they're going to shift that into a bit more of a long-term onboarding of new projects, getting more people in from other places that aren't just within that Critterz community. So have, like I said, community within a community. And I just think in terms of the plots, now they're adding extra utility with a new what are they bringing out? With a new white paper. That's it. Today, I believe they're going to bring out to show the utility and emphasis again on the plots for the world. And, again, they're going to have more worlds later. So it's not like this is the only map. They're going to expand around this current rectangle. And for me, it's just a very exciting project. And I'm very excited to see where it is in a couple of years, because they have about 24 plots right now. I'm going to be continually building on these plots. Now, I may not build on them personally. I may get other people to build them because they take quite a while to do. And I don't really have the time to spend all day, every day doing this. But, over the next handful of months, 6 months, a year, I really want to build up nice themes on my plots so that I could then potentially charge, obviously, for that in blocks, or I could have it segregated off, for example, for specific communities. I could go ahead and build on one of my plots for my community, for my Discord community, a world where anyone that wants to join can. We could hold Ask Me Anythings. We could hold town hall meetings, whatever within the metaverse. Of course, it could be recorded via other forms as well, but it's just a nice additional potential output for sharing and being part of a community within a virtual world. So I'm going to leave the video there, everyone. Hopefully you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.